come on stage for questions. But I guess I don't want to interrupt too much my flow, so I'll just keep going. Prepare your questions if you have any, and we'll see at the end. I'm 20. And my life mission? Well, I guess become the best version of myself, make great music, play great concerts, and bring more people onto self-improvement. Yeah, okay, let's go. Okay, so the importance of developing your own mindset. Jeffrey doesn't understand the concept of a mindset. He fucks up every aspect of his life because of poor decision making, and he spends his time on WikiHow trying to find tutorials on how to get a girl. Jeffrey doesn't understand why the world is so evil. He asked his crush out, but she told him to get his shit together. So he ran back home to ask his Fortnite friends what it truly meant. They told him, "Only bad guys get girls. You've gotta become a bad guy." Next day, Jeffrey goes to schools determined to get the ladies. He is mean to everyone, insults a teacher, and gets suspended for a week. He thought he would attract females, but now everyone despises him even more. Adonis. Adonis is a strong man. He was born in poverty, had barely anything to eat, and learned to survive at his youngest age. Thanks to his self-made, powerful mindset, Adonis learned to confront any challenge. Of course, he has failed many times, but he used those experiences to improve his mindset and become even stronger. He doesn't chase women, women chase him. When Jeffrey met Adonis, one look in the eyes was all it took for Jeffrey to crumble. Finally, Jeffrey held the truth. "Some people are born lucky," Jeffrey said. Don't be like Jeffrey. Don't. Okay, so today we're gonna talk about the importance of making your own mindset, and I'm gonna try to have a slightly different approach than you would usually hear. My point is, you can of course copy anyone else's mindset, but it won't be adapted to your own life. So I'm gonna teach you how to create your own mindset for your own success. Yeah. Jeffrey voice on point. Okay, why have your mindset and beliefs when you could adopt someone else's? The definition of mindset is the established set of attitudes held by someone. Your mindset is one of the most important factors to your success. It determines how you view the world, how you approach it. A poor mindset can definitely be the foundation of your failure in life. You might try to fix your issues, but somehow you'll just keep getting flooded with more issues than you have time to solve them. Every time you get back up, a new wave of problems, Every way you get back up, a new wave of problems hits you. You can't change your life if your mindset isn't changed at the root. You can't expect to get apples if the seed you've planted is an oak tree. The only way to get rid of the tree, no matter how big it has grown and how difficult it is to plant the right seeds this time. It'll take time for your new mindset to grow, and it won't give you apples at first. The benefits will only appear over time. It'll have to survive the first night, the first weeks, month, and even years without crumbling under the weight of the challenges. But that's how it gets stronger. If your mindset never faced little issues, it wouldn't be anchored enough to survive the first storms. Okay, so there's no universal truth to life. Maybe there will be one day when AIs have calculated all the possible reasons for our existence, but that's not the case yet. Everyone's views have flaws, and nobody truly knows what we're doing on this planet. We don't know why we were sent here. Some believe it's destiny, some believe it's a goddamn beautiful coincidence. But it doesn't really matter because no one truly knows. By adopting someone else's mindset, you're also adopting their flaws. Nobody's right. You can agree on many subjects and yet disagree on a very specific point. It doesn't mean you have to submit to that person. It doesn't mean you have to hate that person for that opinion either. Life isn't black and white. Everyone has different values, which also influences their beliefs in a very different way. Someone whose goal is to walk on the moon will not have the same mindset as someone whose goal is to bake pizza for the neighborhood. So I'd like to show you one personal example. I think a lot of you here likes Hamza and he's providing pretty great value and often will agree with him. But sometimes we'll find ourselves in a state where we're not totally agreeing with certain facts. And some people will get mad. I guess you've seen many YouTube videos where people just trash talk and everything. They say, oh my god, Hamza is not right because he said this. But honestly, no one is right, so just strive to pick out the best of every advice you get, but also have a critical mind. Don't just take everything and say, oh, this is how I'm gonna live my life. As far as we know, we only got one shot at life, so we better make sure it's optimized to our own success. You're responsible for your own beliefs. You have to make sure they are optimized, otherwise you're the one that's taking all the blame. If life goes wrong, it's your fault too. And you'll probably learn great lessons. But when it comes, when life is right, you're taking all the pride. So mindset goes hand in hand with your own purpose. And that's why you can't just have someone else's purpose. It will not suit you for your own needs. You need to understand why you're standing up for something, not just repeat what someone else told you. You need to be humble enough to listen to others' opinion, but question your own beliefs. But you should also be strong enough to stand up for your own beliefs when you've thought the question through. In the end, nobody's going to be 100% right. So at least live by the beliefs you've developed on your own, and the ones that will improve your lifestyle. Of course, your new mindset won't be perfect at first. It's something that will evolve over time, until it's more and more accurate. So the idea is, start by taking advice from others, learn from their mindsets, but don't take everything. Make sure you get your own ideas too. You check different sources, and little by little it'll get stronger and stronger. So, how your mindset heavily affects every aspect of your life. Your beliefs are what make you a leader. First of all, they make you the leader of your own life. Then they make you the tribe leader. There exists only one person on Earth with your unique set of DNA. There also exists one person on Earth with your unique sets of experiences, with your education or lack of education. And so if you build your own mindset, it will inevitably be built around your own values and your own purpose. What's good in your situation? Every leader has their own vision of life, and that's why people follow them, because they trust in their vision. You can and must learn from others. It's your duty. But as long as you don't have your own mindset, you're bound to be a follower. Having a strong self-made mindset makes you deadly. Your mindset is the frame of your life. It determines your boundaries, what is acceptable and what is not. It determines the way you react to certain situations. It makes you lean towards certain decisions when you're in moments of doubt. You don't want anyone to decide that for you, because no one has your own experience, and two people taking the same decision will not hold the same results. People can learn the same sport with the same instructor, they can do the very same tricks, yet the outcome will not be the same in a game, because everyone has their own way of doing the same tricks. The same thing applies to life. No one works the same way, and just because one decision works well for your mate, it doesn't mean it will work well for you. Determine your rules for your own life, taking into account how you tend to behave and what you can do to optimize your reactions. Your mindset must blend with your personality. If you've taken the time to build your own mindset, over time you've taken the time to challenge it, to push it to its limit in order to fix what's wrong and reinforce it. You've created your own mindset based on personal beliefs, and you understand why it is this way. Considering the amount of time you spend on that mindset, it's so anchored within you that your responses come naturally. You behave a certain way because you have real reasons to, not because you read anywhere that this is the best. That's something that kinda annoys me. Too many people are doing things just because they've been told not to do it. Or, sorry, they're not doing things because they've been told not to do it, but actually they have no clue why. And that's the case for a lot of people on NoFap. They don't know why they're on NoFap, and that's why they fail. You're challenging your willpower, but you have no good reason to do it. I also don't like the term NoFap because it's been associated with a challenge, and therefore it lost all its meaning. NoFap is not a challenge, it's a lifestyle. Understand your beliefs in depth, and you will understand how everything is linked together. Have a clear vision of your life, and the right people who want to be around you to learn from you. Fab prediction, that's funny. Anyway, your mindset affects everything. It affects your it affects your career and finances. For instance, will you work 1 hour more, or will you go watch a new episode on Netflix? It all depends on the boundaries you've put on yourself. Will you decide to make a new business, or will you decide to stay at the same spot for the next years to come? This is all determined by your mindset. Some people won't do something just because their mindset is not right. They've been told all their life that it's not possible. You shouldn't do a business because, first of all, it's a big investment of money. You'll lose it all. You're bound to fail. Making a business is only for the right people. You're not one of them. Blah, blah, blah. Your mindset also affects your relationships. How do you behave with strangers? Will you go to talk to that cute girl over there? Should you start with a pickup line, or should you start by highlighting your common interests? And that's one thing. Even people with a growth mindset won't act the same way in certain situations. And I'm not saying one situation's right or another's wrong. I'm just saying every situation requires a different solutions for a different person. And that's one of the reasons you should base your mindset around your personality and not just what someone else told you. Your mindset also affects your health. Everyone has different needs for their bodies. Someone have conditions, someone have different way of reacting to food. For instance, if you're working out, some people might want to bulk at some point, some people might want to cut, and it all depends on your body. You can't just decide everything based on your friend's mindset or anything. Okay, give me a second. Alright, so creating your own mindset from others' experiences. One thing most people go through when discovering self-improvement is a collapse of their mindset. At least that's what happened to me. I realized my perception of the world was totally distorted. The way I viewed dating, the way I viewed success, the way I viewed myself. I was a kind boy, I was never wanting to hurt anyone, and always prioritized being kind above being confident. When I was in school, guys used to tell me, girl like bad boys. And I was like, why would girl want mean boys when they could have a kind man that would take care of them? It strictly made no sense in my head, because every time they'd break up with those guys, they would be in pain and they would be like, oh my gosh, there's no kind man on this planet. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm here. I'm a kind man. You're just picking the wrong guy. And now that I think back at it, it's kind of painful. It took me some years to understand the reasons girls like bad boys, and it's not because they're rude, it's just because of their mindset. Bad boys have a winning mindset most of the time. They know what they want, they know how to get it, they're not afraid to stand up for themselves or the people they love. They'll fight for their girls' security, while most guys would run away. They don't give a fuck about people's opinion. And our brains are all rooted for survival. Though our lifestyle, our education, our beliefs have changed, our lizard brain still remains pretty much intact. We might not be aware of it, but our lizard brain affects every decision we make. For the people who don't know what it is, the lizard brain, aka limbic system, is a part of our brain that deals with all the reflexes you don't have to think about. It works on autopilot all the time. For instance, it makes your heart beat without having to think about it. It controls your lungs and breathing. It constantly analyzes the world to check for any signs of danger. It is responsible for your fight, freeze and flight reactions. It is responsible for your nonverbal communication, so that means body language, microexpressions. And I won't go in depth on this maybe in another lecture, but that will be useful to understand the rest of my point. So basically your mindset is reflected in your body language, and though you might not consciously be capable of reading the sign, your brain does for you. Your limbic system analyzes all potential partners and determines whether that person is an asset to your security or not. Girls do not reject nice guys because they're nice, but usually because they can sense it's a makeup for the lack of strength, lack of direction, and poor mindset. Also, a lot of nice guys are nice to their crushes, but total assholes to other guys, and the lizard brain can sense that. Yeah. Alright. So anyway, my mindset collapsed when I started discovering this point of view. I started to understand kindness wouldn't lead me to success, confidence and determination would. I didn't have the wrong intention. To be honest, I was advanced compared to other kids of my age, but I didn't have the right mindset. So I started consuming all this new content, learning about different ways to approach life, and to be honest, my whole life shifted. I started asking myself questions about all the content that told me not to give a fuck, only focus on what I wanted and not what others wanted of me, being more dominant and cutthroat. I started to lose myself. These mindsets were total game changers, but the results started to show in my everyday life. Okay, sorry, messed this up. Yeah, what I wanted to say is those mindsets were totally a game changer, and I could definitely feel the results, but it felt like I was losing myself. I was stuck in a dilemma. Should I abandon all my values that I've always thought were right to adopt these new ones? And nobody online was talking about it. Everyone was just kind of, yeah, this is the way you have to live, you should 100% adopt that mindset. But I said nope, this doesn't have to be a compromise. I said to myself, my mindset used to be flawed, but this wasn't all wrong. Just peop- just because my vision of the world has shifted, it doesn't mean I have to totally abandon my old ideas. People never told me this, but I can be kind, caring, empathetic, and be strong, cutthroat, and dominant. It shouldn't be conflicting, though most people would tell you it's not possible. Just because Andrew Tate is a strong man, very direct, brutal, and he's successful, doesn't mean you have to be on that extreme side to be successful too. From this point, I try to balance kindness with being cutthroat, and the truth is, it took my kindness to a whole new level. Your kindness radiates more when you're a strong, direct man. Your confidence emphasizes your empathy. There's an incredible quote by Jordan Peterson who talks about the importance of being dangerous to become a good man. I quote, "If you're not a formidable force, there is no morality in your self-control. If you're incapable of violence, not being violent isn't a virtue. People who teach martial arts know this full well. If you learn martial arts, you learn to be dangerous, but simultaneously you learn to control it. Life is a very difficult process, and you're not prepared for it unless you have the capacity to be dangerous. Only when you are capable of being dangerous does your kindness truly have value, because you could easily be a threat to the other person, but you choose not to. People will respect you for that. Bullies don't respect their targets because they know they won't be able to fight back even if they wanted to. You should have a growth mindset, but don't forget to blend in your own values. They are all that makes you unique as a person. Everyone can have values such as working hard, being determined and confident, and you must have them, I guess. But what dissociates you from this person is what personal values you incorporate into your mindset. There's no universal truth, but there is a personal truth to every situation, and everyone's needs are not the same. Like I said earlier, everyone has flaws, and you should build your mindset around trying to fix your flaws. For some people, it might mean being more courageous. For others, it might mean being more of an altruist. You'll keep evolving during your whole life, and at some point, you'll have to readapt your mindset to your current situation. Some values that you've been working on now become more natural to you, and you should focus on something else. Plus, your beliefs will change over time, and your mindset is bound to change too. I'm pretty sure there are things that we all believe about life that in a few years we'll figure out is totally false. Because we're always growing and learning new things, subtle nuances, if you think you're done learning at 20, you're hella wrong. At 45, you won't be done learning. At 60, probably not either. I've heard someone say yesterday that some people are at their peak at 15 years old. And hell no, I'm not saying this to offend my younger listeners, but at 15 years old, you barely know anything about life. I'm 20, and I barely know anything either. I just try to make the best out of my life with what I've got, and I have enough humility to question my own beliefs so I can move a little bit closer to the truth every day. But I guess at some point, when you get old enough, you don't need to learn anymore. You've lived through most of the challenges, and you find peace where you currently are. Okay, so that was more of the theoretical part. I'll try to move in more into the technical part. So unfortunately, there's no big secret to building your own mindset, but the good news is that it comes naturally if you at least try. Read as much books as you can. The writers themselves have read books which have forged their own mindset, meaning that if you blend all authors' beliefs into your own, you'll have a mindset and a knowledge built around more than 1,000 people's experience. Isn't that strong? Reading a book is the best way to challenge your current mindset and strengthen it at the same time. Understanding the concept in depth by reading, observing situations in which that specific mindset is useful, and allowing your brains to create links between this mindset and your own experiences. You'll think about life and you'll go, oh, that's the way I should have behaved 2 weeks ago, when she gave up on me because I didn't show enough courage when I should have. Think about all these situations. When something could have been done differently. Don't whine for not taking the right decisions. Think about how it could have been done differently. And learn from it, then move on. Repetition legitimizes. The more you will plunge yourself into your mindset, the more obvious the answer will become when you have to take a decision. Have meaningful conversations with your friend about their life experiences, their values, their mindset. You will notice everyone has a different approach to their life. And that's for the best, or for the worst. Listen to what they have to say and put yourself in their position. Really try to understand why they think that way. Adopt the ways you like about their mindsets that you don't personally have, but leave aside what you don't think is great. If you're not totally sure about some values, take a sheet of paper, write down what you think works and what you think doesn't work and why. Quickly you'll notice if it's efficient or not. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about creating your own mindset from your own experiences and thoughts. Your brain is capable of doing so much things, and most people underestimate it. They've been taught to scroll on Instagram all day long and play video games. And not only does it destroy their mental health, it destroys their capacity to think and concentrate. That's one of the many reasons I cut out video games. Every day I'd play, my mind would be in a mental fog where I couldn't concentrate for more than 3 seconds at a time. That's how short our attention span is thanks to addictive social medias like Instagram and TikTok. There is a special feeling when you haven't looked at a screen for hours and just write on a sheet of paper. An incredible mental clarity where you can think of any subject and your mind feels free. I truly believe you need to be in that state of mind whenever you want to take a solid decision in your life. Meditation is an excellent way to free your mind from these intrusive thoughts when you try to concentrate. Journaling too. It's an excellent tool for finding answers. I always meditate before I journal because my mind is so much more focused and I can go so much more in depth. You want to build your own mindset. Think of everything you've learned. Think of what you value the most. Start writing everything down. Find solutions for how you can make all your values work together without them ever conflicting. Which values prevail the most for you in specific situations? If someone hides the truth from you and you learn it, will redemption prevail? Or will you be cutthroat enough to cut them out of your life? I'm not saying one decision is better than the other, and that is completely up to you, to your life, to your experiences. Sometimes cutting out people of your life will be the right choice, but sometimes it's great to accept forgiveness, because people also learn from their mistakes. So yeah. Thinking back at your failures, what was wrong in your behavior? How can you change your mindset so that next time you face this kind of situation, you'll behave differently? You need to reach a clear state of mind when you're able to dissociate your experiences from the emotion you felt. Try to reach an objective point of mind instead of a subjective one, which might fake your results. I think you should be able to get the best out of every experience in your life, even the worst ones. Instead of saying, oh God, I had an awful day today, these people, for instance, these people harassed me at work. They were making fun of me and I just couldn't defend myself. Instead of saying, oh gosh, that was a bad day, tell yourself, this day was a great day to learn. Tonight I'll think about it. I'll try to find what I should have done, what I did wrong, and try to adopt this into my new mindset to make sure if that happens the next time, you won't make the same mistakes and you'll learn to tackle it. So there's a great quote by Jordan Peterson on how to challenge your beliefs and use writing to become a better person. So the quote is, if you can think and speak and write, you're absolutely deadly. Writing is thinking formalized. You gain the ability to think by learning to write very, very carefully. Then, when you can write effectively, you can do anything you want and no one will stop you. I've realized writing is often the best way to think and to solve problems. The more you write essays to find solutions, the more you will be able to think faster and find solutions easily by thinking. Writing really affects the way you think, and I think that's something that's kinda underrated. At school, we never learn why we do essays, but and that's sad that we don't, because it's a really powerful tool. And that's something I learned when I got into self-improvement. Just write about your mindset, what about what you want. You'll find solutions, that for sure. Just get away from these distractions. Sit down with a piece of paper, write the ideas that come out of your mouth. Let the ideas flow, write down what matters to you. It ain't as difficult as it seems if you allow your mind to speak. Okay, so now I'm gonna quote Ed Sheeran. I guess that's kind of controversial, because not exactly the kind of person you will think as a great, I don't know, self-improvement dude, but actually he might sing love songs, but he's the kind of guy who's been working hard for all of his life. And yeah, don't underestimate people who write love songs. I guess that's the conclusion. But yeah, so the quote is, it's not exactly the quote, I kind of reinterpreted it, but that's approximately what he said. I view writing as a tap of water in an old house. At first, as you open the tap, shitty water will come out. And you just have to keep letting the water come out. At some point, the water will become more and more clean, and eventually you'll come to a point where the water is totally clean, but sometimes you'll have some shit out again. But it's great because it's out now, and that's how writing works. Your writing will feel shitty at first, but you just have to do it over and over, and all the shitty stuff will get out, and over time it will become cleaner and cleaner. And it's fine if sometimes you're not in the same mood, you're not in the same state of mind, and your writing isn't great that specific day, but overall you'll really progress. And how do you think I wrote this lecture? I just sat down, I took a pen, I took a book, and I wrote all that came through my mind. And then I tried to formulate it in different parts and everything. So yeah, I'm not perfect, but I'm just trying to say that you should write, and just because it's shit at first doesn't mean it won't get better. Just write and it will get better. So yeah. At least don't just sit there doing nothing. Always do something, the answers will follow. So, living up to your mindset every single day. Now that you've made your mindset, you find many ideas to determine what you think is important, what you think is not, what kind of decisions you should make every day that suits your life, and you should challenge your mindset to make you stronger. Your mindset will be weak at first, and just because you've created it doesn't mean you act the way you want to every day. And that's pretty important. You should make sure your mindset is optimal. Because what's the point of having a mindset if you don't even respect it? If you say you're gonna do something and don't do it? There's a quote I like by Mark Manson from the book The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. The quote is, "The more something threatens your identity, the more you will avoid it." And there's another quote too by the same guy in the same book, which is, "Being wrong opens up a lot of possibility to change. Being wrong brings the opportunity for growth." You shouldn't be afraid of being wrong. We're all wrong in some ways. But the faster you admit it, the faster you can be right again. Don't hide from it. Face it. Your belief will crumble when they're challenged. And if they're wrong, they will collapse. But that's a good thing, because you'll be able to replace it. Your right beliefs might shake, but if they survive, they will be stronger than any time before. So really, put your beliefs at test. Put yourself in situations where your mindset will be tested. And that's when you'll see if it truly works. If you want to do the hard work, don't just tell yourself, "I'm gonna do the hard work," because that won't work. You really need to put yourself in a situation when you'll have two choices. One that seems easier, that seems more pleasurable, but that will bring less growth. And then you have a choice to also do the hardest choice, but that will bring most value. Train your willpower. And the more and more you apply your mindset, the more you will get stronger. And it'll become natural to adopt that mindset. So yeah, another way to make sure to adopt your mindset, what I do personally is I write my mindset on a sheet of paper. For instance, I'll write a few sentences on how I should behave in certain situations, what type of decisions I should do. Yeah. And yeah. So whenever I have any doubt or I just need a reminder, I'll just take the sheet of paper, read it again to make sure I keep it on my mind and don't forget everything I've learned. It's great to have a mindset that you've built, but to adopt it, you will have to read it over and over, repeat it until it really sticks in your mind. Rereading it not only helps to absorb it into your subconscious mind, but it allows you to understand even deeper, create new links that you hadn't thought of before, which makes it even stronger. So yeah, really create new links, think about it. It's really important that you understand why your mindset is that way, because if you understand it, you'll be better at acting. Again, I could go back to what I said on NoFap earlier. You should have your clear reasons for doing it. Don't just do it because it's a challenge. Write down your reasons, and every time you have to do a decision, or at least when you can, just read it over and over and prepare yourself. If you know why you're doing something, you're much more likely to stick with it than if you're just repeating someone else's ideas. You won't have the drive to do it because you have no reason to. Alright. To finish off, I think it's important to live up to your expectations, to your mindset. You'll never be happy if your only way of acting doesn't match with your mindset. Your subconscious knows your mindset and always checks if your actions live up to your expectations. You can't be happy if you know you're supposed to act a certain way but you don't. You can't be confident if your actions don't live up to your words. It's a simple yet brutally forgotten concept. If you know what's right for you, but you don't do it, your subconscious mind is bound to classify you as a coward. Only when you have truly aligned your life with your mindset can you truly be fulfilled. Thank you. That's it for today. Now, I guess it's question time. I hope I brought some value to you. I really do. And honestly, if you have any questions, I'll just get you on the stage and yeah. I see British. British Empire has his hand up. Should I bring you up? Thank you guys. Okay, I'll bring you up. Let's go. Not sure how to do this. Never done it before. It's my first lecture. Okay, here. Hey. You hear me? Because I can hear you. Alright, I'll check it out later. British. Are you here? No? Okay, I guess I'll just put him back to the stage and I'll get him up when he's fixed his problems. Okay. So, thank you. I appreciate it a lot. It's my first lecture and I know sometimes I'm stumbling on my words. I'm not as efficient as I can. But at least that's how I'm learning. Is your speaker broke? I don't know, man. Okay, I'm gonna try to find questions. What's the best way to take action whenever you don't want to without willpower or motivation? Well, one book I've read is how is it called? Atomic Habits. It's a really great book. It teaches you to adapt your environment to your needs. For instance, if you want to work but you have no motivation or anything, just find a way to make your the work you have to do more attractive. For instance, you could reward yourself with anything you really want to do after you work, or you could combine your action with anything else. Like, for instance, if you have to cook and that's the thing you need to do, you can combine it with having a YouTube video at the same time. So cooking doesn't feel that terrible anymore because you've assembled it with something that's great. Also, it's important, I think, to create safe spaces for your work. For instance, you have a room where you remove all distractions, that you keep always as tidy as possible, so that whenever you get in the room, you're directly in your work state. Yeah, removing distractions is one of the most important things, to be honest. You won't be able to work well if you're always distracted, if you're checking your notifications, if Instagram's ringing, everything, yeah. So I guess that pretty much answers the questions. If you have anything else, feel free to ask. How to make money when you're 15 years old? You know what to do, but you don't know how. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So I guess if you know how, I won't answer. No, if you know what you want to do, I won't give you advice on how to find your business, but I'll give you advice on how to do it. I often realize that whenever we have goals, we tend to make it all seem difficult, like how am I gonna go from right here to being a successful entrepreneur? And I guess you have to divide every step to get there into smaller steps. For instance, if you want to make your own business, have a website, I don't know, for instance, online value like Fiverr, what you said, you should divide your business into different parts. First of all, divide it into the value you want to bring people, divide it into the money part, so then divide it into the administrative parts, and then divide every part into different parts. So for instance, in the administrative part, you should for instance divide every part in how do you say it, the documents you need to make your business work, all the emails, set up an email, set up a website, set up everything you need to make sure it works, set up a contact form where people can contact you. In the finance part, you should make a bank account, you should you should determine everything you need to get money, to make the money come in. In the value part, you should determine what kind of services you'll do, how long it'll take to finish one service. For instance, I'm a sound engineer, so if I decided to do a Fiverr, I could, for instance, make a business where I clean audio to get rid of all the trash sounds like the background noises, the reverb, make sure the file is as clean as possible. So I need to make sure that I'll be able to make as much projects as possible in an hour to make sure I get the most out of it. Because yeah, I guess that's a secret. Also, you should think about how to actually progress. So first of all, your price will be not that high, so you can attract your first clients. Then you start by getting a lot of positive feedbacks, so your business has more value. And over time, as you progress, you can get the prices to be even higher. So yeah, my advice to make a business, or at least make it work when you already have the idea, is to divide every part into subparts, and then divide every subpart into even more subparts. And you'll see that the more you divide it, the easier it will seem, because you know exactly what to do to make it work, and in every aspect you know what you need to figure out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sheeperman, I'll check it out, your ping. So I'll probably make another lecture, and I'll check out your suggestion, don't worry. But right now I'd rather stick on the questions before determining what other lecture I'll do, because it takes some time to prepare and I really have to put myself in the right mindset. before deciding if I want to do a lecture on a specific subject. Okay. How to identify the difference between weak mindset and wrong mindset. If your mindset crumbles when challenged, then it means it's wrong. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's kind of natural. For instance, well, honestly, you'll realize if your mindset is strong enough just by testing it out. Because, for instance, let's say my mindset is the world is the world. Okay, let's take the black pill mindset. Oh my gosh, women only like hot guys, and if you're not born hot, then you have no chances to make it. So let's say you're in that mindset for a while, you'll just keep going at life and failing and failing and failing because the way your brain is processing the information does not help you to move forward. So I guess the way to realize if your mindset is wrong is to just track your progress. If your progress is going upwards, then it means you're on the right way. But if your mindset, well, if your progress is just falling and not getting better, then you're probably approaching life with the wrong mindset, I guess. So always be self-aware when you're not making any progress, and then determine if the problem is your mindset or if you're just not acting according to your mindset. And that's something you've got to distinguish. Just because you're failing doesn't mean your mindset is wrong. It can also mean that you're not doing the step you need to do and therefore not respecting your mindset. Some people will say, yo, my mindset is to grow, work hard, make money, all that stuff, and then they'll watch Netflix every day. Oh my gosh, I need to finish that new episode of family drama, blah blah blah. Bro, if you want your mindset to work, you need to test it. You need to apply your principle to real life. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope I answered. Yeah, you can write what you're thankful for, current blessings or problems. Allow you to get your thoughts on paper, examine it. That's right. I think gratitude is quite important because it allows you to stay positive and all the time, and even when you're failing, you'll be able to look back at it and see what you made wrong. Because if you're not grateful for anything that happens, you'll just go on and you won't be objective in your reasonment. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get Dean if you're still here on the stage. Dean is still here. Yeah. Hello, Dean. How are you doing?
I'm well, I'm well. Yourself? I don't know if I'm out of signal for a moment, but if I do, I'll be back in a second. If not, then I'll just start. I was just wanting to ask: is that where do people find a fine? Isn't there such a thing as a fine balance between like say short-term benefits and long-term benefits in this, where it can give you that motivation? And I know there's discipline as your long-term answer, but for people that don't have, say, heavy discipline, where do they find that? What is it? Where do they find that motivation in the short term? Because for me, it would be something like, yes, the little instant gratification doesn't hurt in small doses, like manageable doses. And I was wanting to ask, like, at what point is it too much?
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. I guess there is no exact rule on what is too much or not. I guess it depends on how productive you're being,
The
and
individual.
yeah. What did you say?
I was saying, then I'm guessing it depends on the individual.
Yeah, it does. It does. And some people will get more work done in a little period of time. Some people will take more time, and yeah, I guess you also asked how to get the motivation when you don't feel like it.
Yep.
I don't rely that much on motivation. Honestly, motivation will only get you to work sometimes, but it's not a solid way to it's not a solid way to make it. Sorry, it's not as. I just lost my train of thoughts.
That's
That's
okay.
why you should meditate. Yeah. So, yeah, meditation. No, motivation won't help you in the long term. It'll only give you little bursts of energy, but you should strive for drive. And basically, the principle of drive is that whenever you work, you kind of get this sense of accomplishment
I
because
know
you
exactly
managed,
what you're talking about.
and this sense of motivation, this sense of fulfillment will allow you to go on further and further. And the more, I guess, the starting point is the hardest, but once you get in your habits continually every single day, you'll figure out that the drive really starts to get stronger, and it becomes easier and easier just because the pleasure you get from the long-term pleasure, but the sense of fulfillment you get when completing an activity will help you to
Yeah,
do another. It's a loop. It's a feedback loop.
it really is. It's a positive feedback loop, and I agree. Well, and you're right. People do struggle at the beginning because of doubt and like not believing themselves. And I've went through that personally. And I know what you were saying about that is to question it. However, I know that some people don't have the confidence to do that, or the ability, or the not, or just simply the knowledge to do it. And I'm just saying to them is that when it came to me and my own doubt, I still doubt myself a lot. I'll be honest, right here, right now, I still
Yeah,
doubt myself an awful lot. But does that stop me? No. I do it anyways, even if it is delayed, even if it's not when I'm meant to. I still do it anyways. Just like yesterday, I was meant to have a shower at a set time, but I got carried away with watching Netflix because I can be a lazy pain in the ass sometimes. But
yeah,
I still had my shower
yeah. But
instead of
that's
just
great.
that's the point. Is that when you feel that guilt that you're not doing anything, I say listen to it, be wary of it because sometimes that guilt can be triggered at the wrong time or unjustly. And at that point, I'd ask myself, is this guilt justified? Yes? Okay, let's do something about it. No? Well, jot it down, write it down, and think about it. Why do I feel guilty about this? Or just ponder it for a moment and think, why do I feel this way? Maybe you'll find your own answers once you dig in deep and realize that maybe there is a bigger wound in there than you realized. I mean, that's how I figured out that I'm very doubtful about myself. Found bigger wounds than I ever thought I had.
Yeah,
Sorry about the noise, but yeah,
that's
that's what I
fine.
recommend for you guys.
Yeah,
Busy
no,
street.
you're totally right, honestly. And I think one important thing too is to have a clear schedule. The schedule is incredibly useful because it allows you to it allows you to work on less willpower, and at the beginning when you don't have a lot of willpower, the schedule is great because if you have at least the right willpower just to start the first task at the right time, then you'll just go on, and the schedule tells you basically what to do when, and it just makes everything easier.
Yeah, I'd say you can find your own balance in it on how precise or how rough it is. It's up to you. I mean, me personally, I like it where it gives segments of the day, but not hour by hour. I like it rigid, but not. It's kind of like smooth rigid, you know?
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
get it.
I just struggle with the concept from time to time.
Well, I have a quite rigid schedule, but uh, I think I've come to a point where I'm confident enough in my ability to fulfill the tasks that I'll just switch around things and push this activity later and then take another one instead. Or sometime I'm writing and I'm in a flow and I don't want to lose the flow, so I'll just tell myself, okay, I'll keep writing instead of doing the next task, and I'll do more of the next task tomorrow, for instance.
Yeah, and then I have to also ask the question: what about priorities? Like, say you work full time, for example. I'm gonna go into work full time not too long from now, next week actually, and yeah, I'll have time after work and before work to do things.
Yeah,
But then I'd have to ask the question for people that are like me that are gonna have massive schedule changes. They'll have less time to focus on these things. Does that change anything?
yeah, I understand. Personally, I'm kind of in the same situation. Like I'll be working all August month, and that leaves me much less time. Because right now I have a full day schedule where I do lots of things, and it clearly occupies my day, almost all my day. But when I'll be working, I won't have any morning because I'll be at work. I won't have any afternoon, and I'll only have an evening. And so the question is, how do I balance that? What's my priorities? I guess it depends on what you want to do with your life, but
Yeah. I
you
mean, I
should
have a rough. Sorry.
yeah, you should put your own priorities for yourself, and then don't neglect the other habits, but maybe find days where you make your schedule a little different to also get to do these activities sometimes, not totally
Yeah,
forget them. You can have a
yeah,
schedule every day that's different if it works for you.
yeah. I agree. Absolutely. I mean, just during then, I thought, why not have it like this, where you might not have much time to do it, but you could increase the quality. Like, you have an entire day to think. So maybe during those gaps in your work, at your breaks, or anything like that, you could just ponder for a moment or two and just think, hmm, what could I write in my journal? Or what exercise could I do when I get home? Or other things of the sort. You could think of that and just fit in just a little bit. It doesn't need to be as much.
Exactly.
Just it's the quality, I'd say. If you put a good amount of effort into it, then you'll feel good at the end of the day. But if you don't have the energy after work, that's understandable. And give yourself, and if you don't feel like you do have the energy for it, then you don't need to do it. Do it when you are ready. It's what a lot
Yeah.
of people and like me do wrong. We force ourselves into these situations. We force ourselves to do self improvement, which means it's not really self improvement if you're forcing yourself to do it.
Yeah, you should do it for yourself. You shouldn't do it just to do it. So
Exactly.
if you have no, of course, you if you feel like your life is wrong, do something about it, and you should, even if you're pretty satisfied. But if it's a nightmare, then you're probably doing things wrong.
Yeah, I'll agree.
And I just wanted to reflect on what you said with your IDs and using your time gaps at work and everything. That's very true. For instance, I've been applying um, like a few weeks ago for the thinker role for Hamza, and it looks like I didn't get through. But anyway, I just wanted to say that I was at work actually building a recording studio, so I was doing a lot of manual stuff. But I had my phone in my pocket, and whenever I had a new idea that I thought would be great for my application, I just write it down. And at the end of the day, I had loads of ideas that just came when I was working physically. And so you can always optimize your time, especially when you're doing physical tasks. You can think at the same time and find solutions.
Yeah, yeah, I'll agree there. Absolutely. Might not be when you exercise for some other people, but it might also be. It really is just when you're in that flow state.
Yeah. I also listen to a lot of audiobooks because I found them useful in a way because I can listen to the audiobooks while I work out, for instance. And then I'm doubling my productivity in the same amount of time because I'm listening to the audiobook, getting the value out of it, and at the same time I'm working on my body. So yeah, double
Yeah.
trouble.
Mhm. Well, brother, I'm
Yes.
gonna I'm gonna give you some time to get some other questions and
Yeah.
stop holding us all up, you know. But
Thank you.
you're welcome. Genuinely, I'm grateful for this lecture. I'm really glad that I was able to listen and speak to you and to everyone here. I genuinely
Thank
wish
you.
you all have a good day. Genuinely, just I know that I remember this quote. I can't remember what the song was called, but always look on the bright side of life. It might be cheesy, it might be a bit cringy, but it's absolutely 100% true if you want to have, well, a good life. Look on the
Yeah,
positive sides of things and accept that there will be bad in it.
that's totally right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, brother. You have a good one.
You too. See ya.
See ya.
Okay, I want to know if you would agree on this. Would you agree that the first step to developing your mindset is first be raw with yourself and accept your flaws and things you are good with, then fix flaws and abuse strengths? Yeah, of course, you've got to know what your strengths are if you want to build your own mindset. You've got to be honest because you won't get anywhere if you're not even capable of uh, of putting yourself out there and admitting your flaws. You have to be honest if you want to know what to fix. So that's definitely one important point. Yeah. Um, I have a question for Michael. How do I make $10,000 a month? I live in a third world country where Facebook and Twitter is banned and the paycheck is 10 times less than the US. I'm 15 and I've sworn that I will make that money in a year. Current progress, $500 a month revenue on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, well, honestly, I won't tell you exactly how to make $10,000 a month because it truly depends on what business you're doing. It depends on what types of clients you have, where you do it, and so many details that I can't just take in charge. But I think so. Yeah, my answer will probably not be exactly what you expect. I don't know in which country you are, but maybe at some point, I don't know what your plans are, but you might want to move in a country where you have more resources and more abilities to do it. I don't know if it's what you want to hear, but to make, I guess you have to grow it bigger. And same, I don't know what business you're doing, so it's, oh yeah, you're doing YouTube right now. Well, you've got to find a branch where you can provide value. Always think of a business as value you're giving to someone. Lots of people think about business like, I'm just gonna make money quick, but you have to think of your business as you offering value to people. And if the value you provide is great, then you will inevitably win or earn money. And so check out what kind of value you can offer to people. Check out how many people you can reach. Yeah. Try to optimize the things you do. You could sell, that's kind of basic shit, but you could sell, if you're doing a YouTube channel, you're probably giving out content. So you could sell courses, for instance, that will probably make you earn more money than YouTube. But yeah, again, I'm sorry, but it's very specific. There's many ways to make money in pretty different ways, but always think of it as value you're offering to a client. If you want to make more money, you've got to either offer more value or to more people, or be able to provide more in a specific amount of time. Yeah. Okay. I'm an artist and I want to start a blog as my main source of income. How would you go about building this to be profitable? Let me think a second. What kind of art are you doing? I'm a musician, for instance, and it's what I strive to do with my life. For now, I'm studying sound engineering, which is very close to my music business, but it's not exactly the same. First of all, I know that when I'm done studying, my sound engineering skills will definitely be a stable source of income that I can totally rely on. At the same time, being a musician is pretty hard because you don't have a stable source of income when you begin. It's not like a job. I'm paying you directly this amount of money every single month just because you work 9 to 5. So I don't know if you're talking about art, but as a musician, for instance, I could play at weddings. That'll make me earn a certain amount of money for every wedding I do. I could try to play in bars. I could have a YouTube channel where I put out stuff. I can grow my Instagram to have many followers and reach more people so that whenever I release a new song, I just get more streams and therefore more income. I guess the secret when you're an artist is finding a lot of little incomes that when they all work out together, they will allow you to live. Because it's pretty hard to only get one source of income. It might not be enough. And building a blog, I'm honestly not too sure about how much money you can get on a blog, because you'll talk about your life and everything. Maybe you could try to make your blog not free, like a monthly subscription. You could also ask for donations, but I guess your blog will not be the main source of income. I'm having a hard time to imagine getting all your money from a blog. I mean, it might be possible, but yeah. Maybe if you have a tremendous amount of success, you're well known, you're famous for your art, but maybe something you could do, for instance, is courses. I know that works. It often does. Now again, you have to prove your credibility and that what you make is truly worth it so that people trust in your courses. Okay. Someone asked me what country would you could probably take advantage of inflation, and I'm sorry, but I'm not at all an expert in inflation, so I'll be honest and I won't try to answer something I don't know. Okay, I think there's a lot of questions, so I'll just get people on stage instead because I can't. If I keep reading questions like this, we'll be there all night. Okay, Iron Mike, you said you wanted to get on stage. Is that still a thing? Yeah, I'll get you on. Iron Mike. Did you receive my invitation? Yeah, here you are. Hey, sir.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I do.
Perfect. And first of all, I just want to say I'm impressed with what you've done so far, coming up and talking to like a large group of people.
Thank you.
It's nerve-wracking already, just thinking about it, but let me get into my.
Yeah,
Okay,
go ahead.
so it's a bit generic, but I honestly like to get a bit of insight into your life. So, what's one thing that you've done, or a couple of things that you've done to develop the current mindset that you've had?
Honestly, um, reading books.
Okay.
Watch first of all, watching content that I could get from others, because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of things you learn are often not created by you. So it's many people before you who have asked the same questions, and that's why reading books is really valuable. For instance, what I said, every author is writing a book on books that he has already read, and every author, no, or every book that this author has read probably comes even further and is based on many people's personal experiences. So I guess reading a single book will give you insight on the experiences of much more people than you could imagine. And if you've read like 10 books on self improvement, you've probably read the experiences of 10,000 people. And that's why I find it so amazing that you could have access to so much knowledge. I also, like I said, did a lot of writing. Think what I want in my life. What do I need to be able to get there? What kind of mindset do I need? Yeah, to make it work. I'll have to work every day. I'll have to do this. I'll have to be more courageous when it comes to maybe asking people for help or sending a special demo to, for instance, if I want to get signed to a recording label, I'll have to say, I'll have to send for, sorry, I'll have to send a demo of my music to them. And that's a step you have to do. You need to be prepared. You need to do everything you need to be courageous, basically. So
Mm-hmm.
courage is one step that I've tried to integrate. Like I said in my presentation, I tried to keep the empathetic and altruist values
Yeah.
as well as working hard. And so yeah, I usually spend a lot of time thinking, spend a lot of time writing in my journal what I need, and then I try to find what kind of person I want to be, and therefore that's how I'll find my values and everything. Yeah.
That's awesome,
I
man. Thank you so
that
much for your time, by the way.
did that answer your question?
100%, man. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day too. See ya. You feel like you're getting mentally weaker despite doing more of the good habits such as gym meditation. Well, the question I'd like to ask you is, do you take a part in a lot of instant gratification? I don't know if you're still here actually. LFC8. Can't see you. I don't think the person who asked this question is still here. So I'll just move on to something else. Anyone wanted to get on stage? British, I'll try to get you back up on stage.
Oh, can
Hey.
you hear me this time?
Yeah, this time I hear you.
Hello. Sorry about earlier on. There were just a few things I wanted to say real quick.
That's fine.
Yeah. So there's a few things I want to say from the heart. This is going to be quite unscripted.
Yeah.
I'm going to sound like a bastard for a bit, but in Acts 17, verse 29, Paul was talking about how we shouldn't make our gods one of stone, silver, or gold. But if we look closer at the culture, that's what it's become. This idealization of material.
I lost you there, man. Are you still here? Brad? Are you leaving us again? And yeah, Master Shay, I'll get you on stage after, Brad. You here, bro? You here? I don't want to have to bring you back. Oh, did he leave the stage? Oh, he did. Okay. Master Shay, I'll get you on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I do. How are you
Okay.
doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you. How this is I guess it's a little bit related to mindset, but how do I get my friends onto self-improvement as well? Because they're not like total Jeffreys, like they do some like good habits. Like I know like a few of them work out, but like I want them to also do like other habits like productive as well, like meditation or journaling, but I don't know like how to get them onto self-improvement without like sounding like a cult member or something like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you one question. How did you get on self-improvement?
I discovered it was like through Hamza through YouTube mostly, so I discovered it by myself, not through anyone else.
Then why don't you share a video that explains pretty well why self-improvement is a thing and all the benefits. Maybe if you find an interactive, funny way to introduce them, they'll be more receptive, maybe like you did.
Yeah, I tried showing like them a Hamza video, actually, one of them that I really like personally. They took it pretty well, but I don't know if they actually like got onto self-improvement themselves. So I don't like. Is there like any other way I could also like push them on to do self-improvement, like without coming on too hard?
I guess you can't force someone who doesn't want to, but I think you should try to influence them in a positive way. Maybe have deep conversations with them about what they want to do in life, what their goals are, and how they're planning to do it. Maybe talk about your own experience and how it worked well for you, without trying to shove off that you've been doing meditation and all that stuff. Try talking about how much your life is changing. You need to put yourself in the mindset of the people that are listening. They don't know anything and they have no reason to get into it, honestly.
Yeah.
And so really try to put yourself in their spot. Think what. Talk about your own experiences. Try to be honest. It won't help being all you should do workout, you should bulk, you should do all these habits if they don't know why. Yeah. And honestly, if you've tried everything but it still doesn't work, I guess you can't force them. That's
Yeah, I don't want to.
yeah. It's a sad but honest answer. Try to get them by try to get them on your journey by talking about your own experiences, how much you've grown, how great the benefits are, and maybe with some memes or all these guys that are not on self improvement tend to be very absorbed by memes and everything. So use their own way to get to them. You see what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, for sure. I was also kind of like that before self improvement, so yeah, I can see how that will work.
Yeah, you need to put yourself in the spot of the people you want to convince.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you a lot for answering my question. Also, just ahead of time, like your lecture was amazing. I woke up like, I think for me right now it's 8:30 a.m. So I woke up pretty early to see your lecture, and like my expectations were like blown out of the water. So like this is your
Oh,
first lecture. Like I hope you could like host some more lectures soon. Like
I
this
will.
really made
I
my day,
sure
bro.
will. Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. I didn't expect it to come as well as it did, but I'm grateful.
Mhm. Yeah, bro. Thank you. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too. Okay. Did anyone else want to come on stage? British is back. British. How you doing? I still can hear you. Man, have you checked your uh, voice, your mic settings? Okay, so it doesn't. In the meantime, oh, AB wants to get on stage. Hello there.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I do. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you. I just want to say you've done a great lecture so far. I've learned a lot. I've taken a lot of notes. I just have a couple of questions to ask you.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. So, in your mindset, what do you aim to see yourself as? Like in the perfect mindset. Like, let's say I have a purpose. I have a goal to work towards, as you said.
Yeah.
What do I see myself as?
In the future or right now?
Uh, right now.
So basically, you're asking how you view yourself while you're on that journey.
Yes. Yes.
I guess you need to figure out uh, well when you've built your mindset, you know what your ideals are, and you have pretty much figured out what you would do in certain situations, uh, what you would do, yeah, and so you want to see yourself as the person who are respecting this mindset to the letter. You want to see yourself as a person which will take the right decision whenever the choice comes up. If you see what I mean.
I understand.
If for instance your mindset is to be James Bond, I'm just kidding, but you get the idea. What will you do in specific situations? Well, when James Bond is walking away from the explosion, he's looking cool and he doesn't give a shit. That's how James Bond would react in a specific situation. And I guess I mean, that's kind of cringe, but that's pretty much how you want to see yourself. You want to see yourself as always taking the decision, the optimal decision. And of course, you won't always do it, and you have to grow anyway. So,
Are you saying that according to my goal, I should purpose my ideals in that way?
yeah,
Okay. Okay. I have one more question.
Yeah,
To
sure.
build the perfect mindset, what is the perfect way to deal with stuff like like you control so little about, but you know so much of? Like just I know not to be a victim of consequence or not to be not to loathe or feel self-pity, but if you know so much about subject and you have so little control, you can't really get it off your mind, you know?
Yeah. So basically, you're saying you know all the theoretical part about doing something, but yet you try to apply it to your life and it doesn't work.
Okay, I guess you could say that, yeah.
Well, I guess what I do is if I keep trying something and even knowing all the theory, it still doesn't work, I'll try to find a new solution. I'll take a sheet of paper, I'll write. It's hard to explain without having a specific example, but I'll try to find a new solution, a new perspective, to view the problem differently, and find another way to solve it. I
See,
hope it.
I see.
I hope it helps. I'm not sure because it's quite large, but
Okay. Thank you for this lecture. I just have one simple question at the
yeah,
at
sure,
last.
sure.
What made you decide to change your mindset while going through self-improvement? What made you tackle on your mindset as like your most important uh yeah.
Probably, probably the lack of success. I mean, I was like most guys. Uh, I was a kind guy. I was always trying to do my best, and people always told me I was caring and yeah, I did quite an empathetic person, empathetic, sorry, and quite altruist. Yet I wasn't really respected. I didn't get a lot of girls. I never had the success I wanted and that I was supposed to have. You know,
Yeah.
I was supposed to be successful because I was, at least in my mind, I thought I was doing everything right. But why didn't I have the success I thought I should have? And that's how I discovered that my mindset was pretty much fucked. And I was sick of not being respected, of not getting the girls I wanted, of not having the success I wanted. And that's why I decided to change. I guess at some point when you're so fed up about your own life, you just want to change and do what it takes to make your life better.
If yourself from 2 years ago saw you now, do you think he would be proud?
I pretty sure think so.
All right. Thank you.
I,
Thank you
and
for letting me on here. I appreciate it, and I really like this
thank
lecture.
you.
I've learned a lot, and I'm surprised that it's your first lecture.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one, and thank you for listening to me.
See ya.
See ya.
Just to keep on that point, I wanted to say, yeah, maybe I think by I think I'd be proud, not because I'm so exceptional, because honestly, there's so much things I can do better, but just a sort of progress and being in and going in the right direction is so important. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anyone wanna get on stage? Gabriel. Gabriel, I'ma bring you on stage. Got this thing.
Yo, hello, bro.
How you doing?
Just fine. Just entered recently. The lecture's going really well so far.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How's your day?
Well, my day is awesome to be honest. First lecture, and I'm pretty glad of how it's going. So yeah.
Yeah, bro. Going really nice. Taking some notes here. But yeah, I wanted to enter the lecture because I wanted to ask some questions about anxiety.
Sure.
So, well, recently I started deep journaling and I got a better view on how I was relating myself to self improvement and to every aspect of my life. It's a really beneficial habit. But yeah, and with that knowledge, I like acquired that I started being anxious about everything after I joined self improvement, which led me to think like, well, there isn't something really like um according here. It's not. It doesn't make sense. You join self improvement and you get anxiety, but the thing is, I think I started seeing life in a black or white way of thinking, in which led me to believe that I failed. It wasn't okay. I didn't like prepare myself to fail. I did like the opposite that self improvement recommended. And my question, the first question I was going to ask is: it is possible that after I joined self improvement, I acquired black and white way of thinking?
I guess everything is possible. It depends the way you approached it and what you decided to do with the new information you've got. And honestly, I think if you've got more anxiety now than before, it's probably because you were living in a bubble. That all the maybe that all the instant gratification, uh, all the gratification, kind of kept you safe in a way. And when you start self improvement, you start to realize that actually the way you're living is not the way you're supposed to.
Yeah.
And so, of course, it hurts at first because, yeah, it's not what you expected. You were here to get better, and then you realized you were just so much worse than what you thought. And I think it's an important step and maybe a hard step too, but to realize that all your beliefs were wrong, it's a pretty hard step to go through. But once you start building good habits and getting your life together, I guess you'll be able to grow even more than the place you were in, where you felt safe before. I don't know if it makes sense. Do you
Yeah,
see what
yeah,
I mean?
totally. Because like after I started self-improvement, I started doing more good habits. You know, I'm going to be honest here. I was never like a total, let's say, Jeffrey, because I always had the the, the thing with exercise. I always did some exercise, played soccer. I live in Brazil, so soccer is just like part of your life, you know. And all of
Yeah.
this like physically healthy habits, I was never like absent in a form or in which I neglected it or something like that, you know. But I think one of the main reasons that it led me to having this anxiety. It was because I joined self improvement. It was like in April, so my memory is not truly exact. I am still like deep journaling a bit about that. But what I can tell you now that I like for sure know is that when I started self improvement, I started seeing everything in a black and white manner. And let's say one day I I went, I don't know, with eat a pizza with my family, you know, which isn't actually, I would say, not a bad thing. Okay, I know pizza is not the healthiest food, but you know, I was spending time with my family, bro. There's nothing wrong with that in a weekend or something like that, you know. And uh, let's say in that meantime, I will use that time, I don't know, to journal, you know. And if I didn't journal that night, I knew that the other day I will woke up and I will feel terrible because I didn't do it, and I didn't have the ability to look at my past and knew what I was doing wrong, you know. And my question is, does it make sense for you to look at the good habits which you're doing and like keep remembering yourself why you do them? Because I think the black and white way of thinking made me distortion the why I was doing things, and it just grew up my anxiety each time I wasn't capable of doing it. I don't know, for a reason. I don't know. I went out with my family, let's say.
Yeah, it makes completely sense, to be honest. I think, yeah, you should find balance between uh, shaming yourself too hard because you you failed at something, and not feeling anything at all. It's
Yeah.
normal that you will regret a bit not doing an action if you failed, or make you regret if you failed. And I guess it's important to feel a little bit of regret to be able to get better and get back up the next day. And it's for the better, you know. But at the same time, you shouldn't totally destroy your mind just because you failed one little thing whilst you've been doing everything else right. And that'll only get you worse because you won't be motivated to do anything. You'll just be destroying your own mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not a thing to do either. You should be able to, yeah, you should find balance. And instead of tracking, instead of letting a single habit you've missed ruin all your mental health, view it as a whole. Like, view all the habits you've done in a day and figure out if it's a success rather than looking at one habit one by one and saying, I failed once, so I failed everything. No, that's not how it is. The world ain't black and white. It's pretty nuanced, and you shouldn't be uh, so hard on yourself just because you missed one thing. View the whole. If you just missed, if you have a lot of good habits and you just missed journaling, it means you succeeded all the habits unless this one. See the glass as half full rather than half empty, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, that just like opened my mind, you know, because I like the main things that I think like how could I say this, that made my mental health worse even after joining self-improvement was the excessive failing, catastrophizing, you know. Well, I failed this, oh my god, I didn't do the habit, and my brain just start overthinking, and with that overthinking I will just catastrophize my current and future situation by looking at my past, and I will look everything in a black and white manner, which made me like a bit more angry or sad or not okay with myself. But yeah, man, I gotta thank you very much. My dad just called me. Lunch's ready, but
All
I
right.
will definitely keep coming here to the lecture. I really, I'm grateful for today's conversation with you, man.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you
Have a
for
nice day.
equally.
See ya.
See ya.
Okay, I was about to watch hentai, but then suddenly I checked Discord and found your lecture. It really changed my actions. Well, I'm glad I saved you from the hentai, man. Okay, Notch, want to come on stage?
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
are,
So I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
So my problem is I have like a disease. I can have pain in my whole body. You know, at every spot, like my pinky toe to my head, all this. And this pain can really be strong. And my question is, how can I overcome this? Because when I have strong pain most time. It's also have this strong pain. I just sleep long till 1 p.m. And when I wake up, I just go to video games to distract myself, so I don't feel the pain so strong, you know. And how can I overcome this cycle, this rhythm, you know?
Yeah.
If
I
there,
am. Yeah, just go ahead.
if there are like any tips for me, so I can be more productive.
Yeah. Okay, so I won't try to tell you I won't try to force you to do anything, or I won't act like I know better, because it's very specific when it comes to health. And I've been subject to specific types of pain, and I know how awful it is, and how how hard it is to do anything when you're suffering. So I guess the question is kinda, how far can you go when you're in pain? How much things are you able to do if you really push yourself?
Okay.
You should find a balance between I don't know, will your pain be any different if you play video games than if you do anything healthy, like writing or reading a book? Will your pain be different?
Yeah, because I'm playing games to distract it. It must be something. How's the word for this? What makes me happy, you know, what makes a lot of fun for me, and reading is not things like that. So that's why I'm playing like 5 hours a game now. Like since I came to self improvement, trying to reduce it, but it's hard with my disease, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kinda, but I know in the long term it's bad for me. Bad for me to play all day video games and just sitting in my chair. What the shit?
Maybe you should try to move to healthier activity little by little. I'm not asking you to work out, because it might be very hard to work out where you're when you're already in pain. Then you're doubling the pain of the workout and everything. But maybe try to go from playing video games to maybe watching a movie. It's not the best, but watching a movie is already uh, less instant gratifications than video games. Then try going from a movie to a book, and maybe take a lot of small steps to move forward to greater activities, rather than directly pushing yourself into the hardest activities, you know?
Yeah.
If you do it progressively, I think it will be easier.
Okay.
And yeah, I can't really tell you how to deal with the pain. I know it's quite personal. And do you have any treatment that allows you to get rid of it?
They're kinda just like ibuprofen and things like that, but I want to take it because when you take it often, what I did, it's really bad for your stomach, I think. Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
No, that's why I'm trying to not take this and get rid of the pain, or make the pain less with other things. But one
Yeah,
with video games, with video games, say you kind of like you need to grind, you know. Just don't get bam here instant gratification. So you need to grind, then you get it. Are they like reverse or the even?
could you repeat the last sentence, please?
Okay, is this worse or better to play games where you need to grind? You know, so you don't have instant gratification. You need to grind, like, I don't know, a week or something like that, and then you get it. Is this better or even?
To play video games instead of grinding, did you say?
Not grinding video games. You know, just something like Call of Duty where just point and
Oh,
click and shit instead of games that lead to grind. Is it even or down or?
well, honestly, grinding video games won't get you anywhere. Even if it sounds like evolving or anything. It's all fictional, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think no matter what you do, as long as it's video game, it's not gonna change a lot.
Okay.
But yeah, I really hope you succeed at fighting it, and I wish you a lot of strength and luck.
Thanks. Have a nice day.
Keep, see ya. Yo, did anyone? Yeah, I think Maiden Waikiki wanted to come on stage. Yeah.
Hello, bro. How you doing?
Hey, I'm great. What about you?
Yeah, same. So, Master Shay asked how to get your friends on self-improvement, and I'm not really there yet, but I think you have to make progress, and when your friends notice and they ask you man, how did you do that? You look so better right now than before, uh, then you can say, look, I did this and that, and if you want, I can help you, or we can do it together, you know?
Yeah, that's a nice point of view because when people see you've done the work and you've gotten so much better than them, they'll start to question their own beliefs and if they're doing things wrong. So yeah, that's a great thing. Start by showing progress and then they'll get interested.
Exactly.
Thank you. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
See ya, you too.
Bye.
Then Wake Man is asked, hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm great. What about you?
Yeah, I'm great too. I have a question about films and video games and books and stuff like the topic you discussed
Yeah.
before like with the guy before Maiden. So like I've played video games for the whole my life, like from the childhood, and I'm 21 now. Well, I'm not really playing video games right now. I have some like troubles, not troubles, but like my university studies are fucked up, and you know, I want to give me a second, please.
Yeah, that's fine.
So my life is pretty fucked up because of video games, and I have a sort of a fear of missing out. Like I've missed so much great, material, films and stuff that I could have watched like before my age. I'm not saying I'm old and stuff, but have I had all this time and I literally played like shitty mobile games and like shitty games on a PC. And the question was about films, and it might sound funny like cartoons and stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I've never watched The Great Gatsby or some Tarantino's films and like Blade Runner and like I'm reading my list right now, and I have never watched many like classic like gold cartoons as well, and I feel like I miss so much, and I need to improve so much as well. Like right now, at the point my life right now is, and you know, you want to like go to the gym. You want to like I'm working right now. It's like summer job, and you need money. You need to improve. You need to fix your mindset, and this like what should I do with this fear of missing out. Like I have a list of lots of films and cartoons that I want to watch because I didn't do this in the past. I know you should like live the past in the past and like live the present moment, but I think it holds me back, or it is not. Like maybe I should like gradually move from cartoons to films to books to like have this experience, have like live like have yeah get this experience and stuff because it holds me. I feel it's like it holds me back from reading and improving. Like this need, this
Yeah.
necessity to watch all this. So what can I do about this?
Well, the reason you feel like you're gonna miss all those movies is simply because of the pleasure it gives you. You've watched so many movies, and it's always fun. You have a choice between your body has a choice between doing something that will seem hard to do and that will bring pleasure on the long term, but your body doesn't specifically know that, or doing something easy that brings you instant pleasure, instant joy. And so naturally, your body will want to choose the easy choice because all your life you've been telling him that choosing the easy choice is the right choice. Just by doing it, you're always telling your body it's all right to do it, you know? And so that's something you've got to fight against. You've got to show your body that instant pleasure isn't always what's best. And by doing this, yeah, and to do this, I guess first of all, you have to train your willpower to be stronger. And what I like to do is visualize willpower as in your head there's a wolf that's strong and fearless and confident, and there's a monkey. And the monkey likes to play, he likes instant gratification, he likes to have fun. And basically, the monkey will always tell you to do the easy thing, and the wolf will always tell you to do the hard thing. But every single step, every single choice you make will feed either the wolf or the monkey. And the more you feed the monkey, the more the monkey will be happy, it will be stronger, and it will always have the right decision. It will be the one to get to choose. But if you keep on feeding the wolf, even though it's hard, the wolf will be stronger, and every time you have to take a decision, the wolf will become even more stronger because you're taking the hard decision. And at the end, as the wolf gets really stronger, it becomes easy to make your decisions, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, I see what I mean, but like you know, I I might be wrong. I think I'm wrong that I consider films as a source of like visual and I know just like a source of experience, though like life is more full of experience and books as well. And the same I can say about like cartoons and stuff because um like uh I'm not a pro pixel artist, but like I'm the beginner and I like pixel art and I want to like improve my skills, my visual library, and I don't actually have problems with watching stuff because I don't watch it. Sometimes you just look through this list and you think like, why would I spend my time on this? It doesn't feel productive, and I don't know what to do with this. But like, I get the analogy with like the monkey and the wolf, and it's I can like apply this to like my other addictions, except from well, the addictions that I have.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I get it. To be honest, I still watch some movies sometimes. I don't do it often, but I don't think you should cut out movies completely. It's not evil. It's just very distracting, and if you control the amount of movies you watch and do it in a time where it doesn't disturb your schedule, I guess it's fine. Maybe if you've been productive your whole day, then watching a movie in the evening is fine, you know? And
Yes.
and yeah, I think the only issue with video games and maybe movies too, but specifically video games, is that it even when you don't play, it always sticks to your mind. You're always thinking about the next thing you'll do, how great it'll be, how you can grind this new character, blah blah blah, and so you spend all this time of your life thinking about what you'll do instead of actually doing what you have to. And even when you're not playing video games, it occupies so much space, and that's quite toxic, you know, because you can't concentrate properly without thinking about your next quest, your next character, blah blah blah, you know. And
Yeah,
that's
true.
one reason I cut out video games. And yeah, to be honest, I cut out video games. I didn't cut out completely movies, but I heavily reduced it, and I think it's fine. Like, I don't have any struggle in my life uh, with movies. I know I couldn't keep video games because video games were just too toxic for me. I knew I had to cut it out, and it's much better that way. But reducing heavily the amount of movies and series I watched did me a lot of good, and it's okay this way. Like, I don't need to cut it completely, it won't change anything. Yeah. Did that answer your
Yeah,
question?
yeah, you answered my question, and yeah, thank you for that, and thank you for the lecture as well. Though I wasn't like on it completely because I like came from work, but I've listened to like 45 minutes, I guess, and there was much stuff that I learned. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, see ya.
See ya. Okay, I'll take one last question and then we'll end it because I'm already getting tired and it's getting harder to focus and give great answers when I can't focus completely. Okay, I think Croaky had their hand up for a moment.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, how are you doing? I'm great.
Yeah, me too. I'm a bit tired, but I'm good. Uh, so, um, I've been struggling lately with my mindset because the thing is, I can, my willpower is strong. So when I want to cut off things, I do it very easily. But
Yeah,
what I'm struggling most with, it's my social life to get a bit of content to um,
yeah,
I'm not struggling with social skills. I'm struggling with meeting up with people
okay.
because I'm working so much in the summer that I don't really have time to go out. For example, let's say yesterday I woke up, did my routine, uh, gone to work, then gym. Then I had I needed to help my parents in the evening, so it was too late to go out with my friends. And today I was tired in the morning. After gym, I took a nap, then helped my parents again, and now it's again too late because I need to buy to cycle like 10 kilometers to the city and meet up with my friend. And it's getting dark soon, so I can't. And the thing is, it's I I'm getting too um uh, for me it's normal to be alone. Like I can push myself, I can motivate myself, I can do anything by myself, but sometimes I just want to talk with someone and I don't really have the time.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. So basically, you you don't have you want to see people and you have the right people to talk to, you have the right social skills, but you don't manage to get enough time to meet them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I tried to talk with people from this Discord, but it's not the same. Like
Yeah, no.
face to face, it's
No, it'll never be the same. Maybe try to plan out in advance. Like instead of being all, oh my gosh, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, oh, it's too late, I can't go out anymore. Maybe plan that tomorrow or in 2 days at 6 p.m. you'll be in town, meaning you've got to go from home at 5 p.m. and just organize your routine exactly so that everything is done when you need to leave. If you have a planned schedule on how you need to deal with everything, I guess it'll be much easier, don't you think?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about because, like I said, I'm getting too used to uh, comfortable being alone. So I'm always pushing myself and forgetting about this um, stage of my life.
Then put yourself out there. Just force yourself, even if you don't feel motivated at the moment, or you're or you're too comfortable in your space. Plan out that at this time tomorrow I'll go see my friends, and no 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 asking, like make it part of his schedule and force yourself to respect that. Does it make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Because for me, it's like I got all the things done this day. So I helped my parents, I did my work, etc. What's next? What I need to do? Like for me, this is my mindset, and
Yeah.
it's getting tired sometimes working that much and not socializing.
So maybe make yourself some time, even reduce some amount of work to see your friends if you have to. You see what I mean? Maybe take a day off, or take half an hour, half a day or an hour just to talk to your friends, you know? Plan ahead.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, that's fine. I hope it helped. All right. See ya.
Bye.
Okay. My only question. My only question would be if manipulation of people in a negative way at times to excuse my flaws is bad, because I put myself in a position where people look up to me and I have a sense that I did them wrong in a way. I won't I won't tell you no, it's alright. Honestly, if you're manipulating people in a negative way and using your power on them just to make yourself feel better, it's not great. I won't lie to you. But then again, I can't talk about it specifically because I don't know which situations. But I'm not saying this to judge you or anything. But if people look up to you, you should do them right. You should use their attention in a great way. Use them for them. Don't use it against them. If they trust you, you should use their trust right. Trusting someone is not given. I know we often take it for granted, but trusting someone is not given. You could as well be alone. Nobody trusts you. Nobody likes you. Nobody cares. So if you're in a spot where someone really trusts you, at least respects their trust, and respects their trust and do them well. Don't manipulate them or anything, especially not in a negative way. So yeah, hope that helped. All right, I'm sorry. I see that there's 2 more hands up, but it's been 2 hours and my brain is really frying right now. I think I have to take a break. So I'll be stopping this now. If you have any question, feel free to send me a message or ping me in this chat, and I'll look the question up at some times. Sorry for not being able to respond right now. Wish I could, but yeah, I need to breathe. Okay, thank you for everyone for coming. I really appreciate it. I hope it's been helpful, and see you next time, I guess.